Okay, I kind of remembered what I was doing. Oops. I kind of remembered what I was doing. We were, I think, going to the ruins. Oh, hello. Okay, it's just the poor Claires. May have been presented. I should talk to Sister Gertrude. Okay, Father Thomas. Okay, and Elsie. Okay, Father Thomas, you in here? God bless you, Magdalene. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course, what can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about tasking saints. I'd like to represent them in the Wrath House. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. Yeah, let's make a deal. I listen rapturously as you tell me about the saints, and you don't press me about putting them in the mural. Okay. But you know there is one saint you're overlooking. Mary? Yes, well done, Magdalene. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint, and she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. Is that where the painting came from? Yes. I read about something similar happening in the mountains near Genoa, Mary appearing to a peasant. I believe it. The Blessed Virgin has appeared to many people all over Christendom. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. The peasant traveled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. Okay. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. Okay. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasant, who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here, to Tassing. Okay. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. Okay. And so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. Okay, but you're not from here. How did you know the story? True, I'm not. The people told me when I came. And the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priest and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. You think it's true? Well, of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Oh my god, there's a Till Eulenspiegel story? Oh, this one again. Continue. He went around with a head that he said belonged to a saint, preaching as though he were a priest. And everyone prayed and donated to him as though it were real, never knowing the truth. Magdalene, is the story of Till Eulenspiegel true? No, of course not. It's just a funny story. But you see truth in it, yes? Yeah, I guess so. Something to think about. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. God bless. Okay, something about the Virgin Mary. Okay, let's go to the mill. It's right next door. Hey, yo, is your mama home? Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Your dad suggested I asked about your family for the mural. He said your sister used to tell him about your family history. Your family name was, oh my god, Caviezo, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. I'm not surprised your father remembers the Caviezels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I'm the last of us left now. It don't sound local. Why wouldn't it be? I am Bavarian. It is my name, so it is a Bavarian name. No one else in town has a name like that. And shouldn't you be Caviezelian? I've always been called Caviezel, as were my sisters and mother, and her mother before her. My grandfather told me the Caviezels have lived in this area for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Were they pagan? Yes, the original Bavarian people. Here even before the Romans. My grandfather said his grandfather told him the Caviezels resettled the town after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Doesn't that seem unlikely to you? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or may not be doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of the ancient Caviezels driven from their land only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he calls me Wait. That looks like an E. He sells me? He what? I don't know what that's supposed to be. About her smile, I can almost recall it. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrich, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's alright. Just as I may not know exactly how the Caviezels resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel close to her and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go on, you got a mural to complete. Okay, thank you. God bless. And then who else? Oh, Sister Gertrude. Who the heck? Carl? But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Druckern. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? Our usual walk around oh, wait, what? Did I miss the question? November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Not sold you can sit around at home telling stories. Oh, you're about the same age as my dad, right? Ha! Klaus has always been too stubborn to grow old. Shame what happened to him. As if you're not stubborn too. No arguments for me there. You're in a good mood. Plenty of reason to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me, I like going up a bit higher up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Anton, my poor boy. It's alright, Dad. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe, then. Who was Anton? I don't remember who Anton was. Okay, it's my fault he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. Go on. The abbey was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken oh my god, Lance Knecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. I still think about my mama. I pray I will see him in death. Dad, it's not good for you to dwell on these memories. I know, I know. Permit an old man his weaknesses. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm sorry? How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I'm there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena... Is it Helena? Should I just call her Helena? 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 I don't know. Passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Okay. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. If I'm any good, it's because of you. And did I ask, though? I guess I don't even remember if I asked. Hey, thank you for telling me. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. This time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Okay, bye. I don't remember you. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was the Benedictine nun at Kirsau before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. That's what I came up here for. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene, I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Taciae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry. It's alright. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rathaus mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored away. No thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Curacao, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of tassing saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthews since he had lived at the Abbey but wanted to see the place firsthand. Oh, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Well, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Druckern. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life. Okay, I see. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? Sure. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckern. The printer's daughter, yes? God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, do you know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Drucker to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Yeah, what she said. I wonder that you... Oh, I wonder that you've never come up to the Abbey before, Mistress Drucker. If God is calling you to the convent, I'm more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. Oh, what brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? Oh, sure, I've been reading about the saints and feel called to learn more about their lives and dedication to God. You can certainly devote yourself to the life of the saints with us as a sister. The life of contemplation leads to fulfillment to which no earthly reward can compare. Please come, I am happy to tell you more of our order. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kiersau double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the Poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties. Duties are disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rathaus. Time to start it. You can either come or not. Up to you. You can either come or not. You wanna or not. But Mother Francisca said... She said as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you really going to get us both in trouble? No, I always follow Mother Francisca's orders. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the l'aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop. Though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where you go first. Alright, party member added. Oh my god, Sister Margaret! She's still here! Hello, Margaret? It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalene, God bless. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had some spare time and thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. It is good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister... Lisbeth? I think the J might be silent. Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Kiersau? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Kiersau is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending, and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave... I can't leave Mousefinger behind. She truly is the queen. Has the convent changed very much since the Poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different, but all the chores and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Oh, of course, sorry for interrupting. Not at all, God bless. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that's that... Oh, there's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Isabu, maybe it's Isabu, take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Hello, ma'am. God bless you, ma'am. How do they all know me? The fuck? I don't remember you. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. How noble. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age and strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. But didn't he die so that we don't have to suffer? In the next life, yes, but even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Okay, thank you for sharing. You're most welcome, child. God bless. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? I'm thinking of joining the convent. Hallelujah. Glory and praise be to God. You've brought such joy to me this day, child. Well, I haven't actually joined yet. Do you have a strong stomach? Perhaps you can help Sister Isabeau and me help in the kitchen. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabeau has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of Saint Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene. Okay, what made you think it was a spirit? The figure rose up through the very ground we stand on at vigils not a fortnight ago. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between the world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now. To know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. It had to have been something else, ma'am. There ain't no way. Maybe I'll just indulge her. A spirit? Why would it come to a convent? It breaks my heart to think the spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Oh, why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better to not get Sister Marie too upset. Of course, God bless. God bless. What the? You didn't tell me about the convent ghosts. Like, Mother Francisca, you gotta tell me. And Margaret. This is the chapel where we all gather for mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And most drafty. Hello again, sister. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Burgfried long before the structure became a monastery. The Duchy. How do you say it? The Duchy? The Duchy? I think it's Dookie, but it sounds kind of wrong. Whatever. I don't think I've ever heard that word said out loud. Gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tasling from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. There's Latin here, too. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kirsau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of the Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Well done, Magdalene. Yes, the first list The abbey's founding date. The Lady Kiersau was actually the one who suggested the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kiersau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, one male, one female, to guard the town and abbey. To think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by St. Moritz. The saints have a long history in these lands. Many things once thought lost are truly foundational to how we live. You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the Wrath House. And I'm glad to have helped. God bless.